Hey, it's DJ from csvape.com, and today we're going to be talking about coil pops. Coil pop coils are constructed of premium wire materials, twisted or wrapped to premium quality. Coil Pops coils provide an intensely flavorful experience while reading low on the ohm scale to allow for quick ramp-up time. With your options of Helix Claptons, Hive coils, Caterpillar Claptons, fused Claptons, Tiger wire, standard Claptons, and quad twisted, you are sure to find an option that best fits your vaping style. Okay, so coil pops, these are the pre-made coils by Coil Pops. For those out there who may not have either the patience to make Clapton coils or twisted coils or Tiger coils, or just for folks that just don't feel like making any coils. I mean, it's already done for you. All you really have to do is mount them, fire them, making sure they're firing evenly, and cotton them up with your cotton choice. Now there's 7 different options. You have the standard Claptons, which is, I'm gonna show you a close-up of each of them as well, but you have your standard Clapton, which is a 24 gauge, and you have, well, it's 24 and 32 gauge combo. Then you have the quad twisted, which is 4 strands of 28 gauge twisted together. Another option would be the Caterpillar Claptons. They're 28 gauge with 32 gauge combo. Tiger wire, which is 26 gauge and 0.8 ribbon. Then you have the Helix Clapton, which is 28 gauge and 32 gauge combo. The Hive, which is 28 gauge times 4. So you have 1 wire and 4 pieces of wire twisted and then twisted together. Fused Clapton, you have 28 gauge and 32. So it seems like 28 gauge and 32 gauge combos are very common with these coils. I'm gonna go through each of them and kind of show you a close-up. So this is your standard Clapton, 24 gauge and 32 gauge. I'm gonna open it up for you and show you. Each pack comes with 4 coils. Let me see if I can get a close-up on this one. Yeah, so this is the standard Clapton, just single core wire with the 32 gauge wrapped around it. And then the next option would be the quad twisted. Now the quad twisted is basically 4 strands of 28 gauge twisted together. Let me get this out. There we go. Now, a lot of people will ask, what's recommended for flavor? What's recommended for cloud production? Usually flavor would be more so focused on the twisted coils. But then again, Claptons do give you the flavor as well, but they are also there and the best candidate for giving you a lot of dense vapor production. This is the Helix Clapton, 28 gauge and 32 gauge combo. It pretty much looks like a twisted wire on the inside, and then you have 32 gauge wrapped around it. So it kind of gives you that twisted effect. And then your next option would be the Hive. The Hive is a 28 gauge with 4 strands of 28 gauge twisted together. So it kind of just like an inception of wires. Really good for holding juice within itself, kind of almost acts like a wick. So it helps with flavor. The coil actually acts like a sponge almost to hold flavor for a longer period of time. And then you have your Caterpillar Clapton. It's a very interesting name. So you have 28 gauge, 2 of them in the inside, and 32 gauge wrapped around them, but they are spaced out. If I can get this going. So as you can see, the outer wire on this coil is spaced out, kind of gives the effect of the wire crawling across the core wire like a caterpillar. Good for flavor, good for vapor production, surface area. That's a very important thing when it comes to performance, is surface area. It's very, very important. So let's see, the next one up, that would be Tiger wire. Now Tiger wire is a ribbon twisted together with a strand of 26 gauge. kind of resembles tiger stripes, which is where it gets its name from. This one will be a kind of an in-between, good for flavor, good for cloud production. You may not get as much surface area with this coil as a Clapton, but you will notice a difference in flavor. Cloud production, not so much, but you want to more focus on the Claptons for that type of performance. And the last one would be the fused Clapton, 228 gauges on the inside, 32 gauge wrapped on the outer. Looks very similar to the standard Claptons I showed you earlier, but you can notice that this is a little wider. So again, more surface area, more flavor, more vapor production, more dense vapor production is what people look for. Now these coils are like any, actually this applies to any coil. As long as you clean your coils properly in between cotton changes, and you try to avoid using water. If you want to use water, you can use distilled water or drinking water, but try not to use tap water to heat your coils up and then quench them in there to clean them. That seems to cause the tap water minerals and whatever else is in tap water to stick to the coil, and you end up ending up with like a brownish tint to it, or a reddish tint, which is basically corrosion. So we don't want that. What I like to do is when I have my coils, they'll last me for a month and a half, 2 months. What I do is I'll take a wire brush, a brass wire brush, and I'll dry fire them first, and I'll get the main big pieces off, take the wire brush, go with the grain. So if you're Clapton, you want to go horizontally. If you have a regular coil, of course you want to go vertical, clean it as much as possible, refire it up, and then you should be good. You can go ahead and re-cotton it up, and that's totally fine. I think the longest I've gone with a coil was 4 months. You can do it too. But yes, this is the Coil Pops. You can check these out on csvape.com. My name is DJ. We're here to help you switch the habit.
Switch the habit at csvape.com.